Dr. Otzel,
Yes.
we're chilling.
Chilling. Yeah.
How's life, man?
It's going well. Can't complain. It's been a roller coaster, but it's been a good time. I'm not gonna lie. The past 3 months have been pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What major change in your philosophy have you experienced in the last 3 months?
Just a different viewpoint on life, probably. I'd say.
I can move this camera around too. You can go about doing your business.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. I'll move over here.
We made some pizza.
I think you get caught in a way sometimes of just narrow thinking and narrow perspective of life. And I think being opened up to something different allows you to see a different viewpoint. It allows you to make changes in your life that you think are beneficial and may be good or may be bad. But I think like experimentation like that, or not experimentation, but making change can be a good thing in your life.
So I came across it. Please go about your business. I came across a quote a long time ago that from Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
I don't know if you like that guy. I like that guy.
Well, again, send me some videos. I'll eat it up.
So he said basically the ability if go set out and do something. Go set out on a path and move forward and get to the point where you have the ability to look back from where you came from.
Yeah.
Right? And that's way better than staying stationary.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like the thing we were talking about before where it's like you can move, but you're not really moving.
Yeah.
You know? So I think it's the same thing. Am I correct in assuming that you're basically saying that?
I agree. And like one thing that I always valued within my own life was throughout college and dental school, honestly, I would look back like, I know most people look back like years and years and years, but I would look back like over a month or two and be like, oh my God, how did I think that way? Like what made me think that way? And like how did I think that way? Now I'm thinking in a completely different way that I think is just such a more enlightened path. And then I'm at the point in my life now where I look back to those times and I'm just like, how did I ever think that way? So it's just like, I think looking back, you are on a constant journey in life, and I think looking back to previous points in your life is important because you see how much progress you made and where you came from, and like you can think about why you thunk that way.
So how much compassion do you have for your past self? Do you, like, for instance, do you batter yourself for being ignorant, or do you forgive your past self for your ignorance?
I think it's a little bit both. I think both is important. I don't think you can be solely one way. I think being able to say like I can't believe I thought that way. Like why did I think like that was the right way of thinking? But then I also think, you know what? I didn't know this at the time, so I was naive to a point that wasn't that like clear evident, or I didn't have the like proper education in order to think in a certain way. So
you forgive your past self for the most part?
Yeah, for the most part, I'd say. I mean, it's easier said than done, but I also I also want to believe that, and also want to think that like, you know, it's you learn to forgive yourself, and then you're also just thankful because you did learn something. And I think learning and growth is like just such an important component of life. I think that's what makes us kind of human.
So we talked about a lot tonight, Paul.
Yeah.
And this may very well be the last time we see each other in person for a very long time.
Yes.
What is a good question? How did it make you feel, us hanging out?
So, like I said, it's been a time of change, and it's been a time of like, things that, change is always a scary thing in my opinion. I think that's for most people, but like as some people in my family have always said, it's like change is the only constant in life, which is kind of a conundrum.
The beautiful reality.
Yeah, exactly. But so like, it's tough saying goodbye to a friend and saying goodbye to somebody But again, that's just like, we're both on a journey, and I know that like the impact that like a friend like you would have on a person is like, it had an impact on me, and I know that the like lessons and things I've learned and enjoyed with you are not going to be forgotten. But at the same time, I understand that like things need to move forward with both of our lives, and that like I'm glad that you're like you see like you have a goal and you're going out to achieve that goal. So I respect that, and like I always encourage people to do that. Go out and strive for the best and try and achieve it, and if you fail, so be it, but you tried, and that's what's the most important thing. And you know what? You could also succeed, so you never know until you give it a shot.
You will succeed.
Yes.
You will fucking succeed. How did it make me feel? Well, Paul, Dr. Rotzel here, and I have had many philosophical discussions over the course of, 4 years?
Yeah.
I met this man and I was like, wow, you're one of the happiest gentlemen I have come across in a long time. And it turns out that happiness is bolstered by a tremendous philosophy on life. Like a real desire to make people feel good emotions consistently. And obviously, you know, there's been times where I've seen him being very structured in life, you know, and I'm like, damn, Paul. But that's what made him this way, right? To have something that consistently pushes him in his in his alone time, to not be idle, to do something productive with his life, because he did a bunch of community service in college. He really gave a shit about people always. He's always been very family oriented. So it's been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal, Paul. I'm talking to the camera here, but to know you. Seriously.
I appreciate that.
You're a good boy.
Thank you. I can say the same about you.
You know?
You've made a huge impact on so many people's lives, and you don't even realize it. But even the small things, I think, for a life lesson for anybody, is just the small things may have a huge impact on somebody else, and that's something that you can't give up on.
So Paul, for people that are looking for our type of friendship, how the hell do we meet?
I'm sorry?
How do we meet?
Me?
Yeah, like what was the first time we met each other?
It was probably in class, and I mean, I sat in like the same seat every day, so, because...
Sounds about right.
And you, per usual, usually sat in the front, or you changed up your seat every time, and then you sat next to me, I'm pretty sure, and we had a good conversation.
No shit!
Yeah.
Just right next to you?
It was either that or right in front of me, one or the other, but I know I was in like the second row. You for some reason sat in the first row that day, and you just had a good conversation, and it was just like, for most people, nobody really conversed. They just sat there until class started, class happened, and then after that it was just like, okay, we have our duty of like what we need to do. And what I appreciate is Tarab made the effort to say hi to people, like talk with people, and like, I mean, that's something that most people in dental school and most like rigorous programs don't make the effort to do, and I think that's something that more people need.
All right, so I'm going to be very frank here. I was running for class president. So
I was trying to get all the
yeah. So I was really trying to get everyone on my side, and the funny part is I gave a speech where I said, and you probably, if you watch any of the Toronto videos, you probably see me saying right a lot. So I said that in my speech, and people are like, wow, you fucking crazy. And you know, some cool people voted for me, I guess, but it didn't happen. And honestly, it's a bullet dodged. But that was part of the reason that I was really friendly. But also, these last 4 years of dental school for me have actually slightly decreased my my hope for humanity.
Yeah, I was
it's fun because here's the thing, right? You go into graduate school, and I hope you have the opportunity, and you really should, because there's some really really smart, incredible people there. But you just have to find them, right? Like we're not taught to go out and do this level of socialization because, well, most people don't know what it means to be successful, like genuinely, like really really successful, and like really live a beautiful life. So go do that. If you have the chance of going to grad school, go and find the dope people, and you hold on to them and get as much as you possibly can out of these people. Because then, look, I can call this guy when I'm like 45, and he's probably I might be dead. I'll call him when I'm dead, and he'll still be a chill guy, you know, and he'll probably still be doing awesome things.
I should say the same about you too.
You know, so. I don't know. Things to know about grad school, for sure.
Yeah, definitely find the people that are a little bit down to earth. You're gonna get a mixed bag of people, and that's anything in life, I think. And what you got to do is find the community that you fit into, but also don't be afraid to fit or try out something you're uncomfortable with. Because I think even though it might be initially uncomfortable, you might find that those are the people that you learn and grow the most with.
So, Paul, I usually do this. What is a wise or a piece of advice that you would give to the youngins?
The youngins?
The young Paul and Tarab.
Okay.
Well, this was a pretty good piece of advice beforehand, but give you another one.
I'd say definitely push yourself to your limits, but at the same time, know your limits and be like appreciative of the limits that you set. Like, know that at a certain moment in your life that like you may be going through a grind or a really tough time, but know that like you put in so much effort and you put in a lot of effort. Respect that. Like, know that that effort is a lot, and that you should be proud of that. Always be proud of the work you put in, and just keep grinding till you achieve that goal that you want to achieve. Make time for others too, because sharing moments with somebody is much more important than doing it by yourself, in my opinion.
Mama! Well, that's another episode of Tarabified. This is another video that I did with a homie of mine. Look at this. Let me show you something really fucking cool. This man just has a classic jukebox in his house. Anyway, go check out this video. A video I did with another friend of mine talking about friendships in general. I hope that you have the opportunity of having amazing friends like this in your life. Actualize your potential, my friends. Take care.